Live out your imagination, not your history. The key to life is not accumulation, it's contribution. What you do has far greater impact than what you say. There are 3 constants in life: change, choice, and principles. Start small, make a promise, and keep it. Then make larger promises and keep them. You can buy a person's hands, but you can't buy his heart. Don't argue for other people's weaknesses. Don't argue for your own. When you make a mistake, admit it, correct it, and learn from it immediately. A family mission statement gives your family a future focus, a sense of hope, a sense of deep, meaningful purpose. My experience tells me that people instinctively trust those whose personality is founded upon correct principles. Primary greatness is on the inside. It's about character. How you treat the one reveals how you regard the many, because everyone is ultimately a one. Little kindness and courtesies are so important. A humble person is more concerned about what is right than about being right. Happen to things. Don't let things happen to you. Each of us guards a gate of change that can be opened only from the inside. We get results based on what we do, and what we do depends on how we see the world around us. Empathy takes time, and efficiency is for things, not people. The roots of the problems we face in the world, in our national life, and in our family and personal lives are spiritual. Synergy is not the only answer to human conflict. It is also the principle that underlies the creation of every truly new thing in the world. In relationships, the little things are big things. Effective people are not problem-minded, they're opportunity-minded. They feed opportunities and starve problems. Synergy is what happens when 1 + 1 = 10, or 100, or even 1,000. It's the mighty result when 2 or more respectful human beings determine together to go beyond their preconceived ideas to meet a great challenge. You and I together are far greater than we are alone. The greatest thing you can do for your children is love your spouse. Synergy is the very essence of the family. Every family member contributes a different flavor to the mix. The wonderful thing is that vision is greater than baggage. Being influenceable is the key to influencing others. Be patient with yourself. Self-growth is tender. It's holy ground. There is no greater investment. Most arguments are not really disagreements, but are rather little ego battles and misunderstandings. To the degree people recognize and live in harmony with such basic principles as fairness, equity, justice, integrity, honesty, and trust, they move toward either survival and stability on the one hand, or disintegration and destruction on the other. Stop setting goals. Goals are pure fantasy unless you have a specific plan to achieve them. To value oneself and at the same time subordinate oneself to higher purposes and principles is the paradoxical essence of highest humanity and the foundation of effective leadership. Link yourself to your potential, not to your past. We may be very busy, we may be very efficient, but we will also be truly effective only when we begin with the end in mind. I think the most significant work we'll do in our whole life, in our whole world, is done within the four walls of our home. Seek to understand before you seek to be understood. To think we're in control is an illusion. It puts us in the position of trying to manage consequences. It's become a status symbol in our society. If we're busy, we're important. If we're not busy, we're almost embarrassed to admit it. Time management is essentially a set of competencies. The idea is that if you can develop certain competencies, you'll be able to create quality of life results. It is possible to be busy, very busy, without being very effective. Most of us spend too much time on what is urgent and not enough time on what is important. We judge ourselves by our intentions and others by their actions. We see the world not as it is, but as we are, or as we are conditioned to see it. The proactive approach to a mistake is to acknowledge it instantly, correct, and learn from it. Basing our happiness on our ability to control everything is futile. While we do control our choice of action, we cannot control the consequences of our choices. Listen with the intent to understand, not the intent to reply. If you want small changes in your life, work on your attitude. But if you want big and primary changes, work on your paradigm. Unless you're continually improving your skills, you're quickly becoming irrelevant. More than an evolution, we need a revolution. We need to move beyond time management to life leadership, to a fourth generation based on paradigms that will create quality of life results. If two people have the same opinion, one is unnecessary. The key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. The quality of our thoughts determine our actions, and our actions develop our habit. Our habit creates our character, and our character forges our destiny. Moral authority comes from following universal and timeless principles like honesty, integrity, and treating people with respect. A disciplined person follows values stemming from their source, the self. If you wish to communicate effectively and to influence others, you would need to understand them first, and understanding can only come from listening. Habit is the intersection of knowledge, skill, and desire. Don't get buried in the thick of thin things. If you put good people in bad systems, you get bad results. You have to water the flowers you want to grow. We develop our character muscles by overcoming challenges and obstacles. Setbacks are inevitable. Misery is a choice. By behaving in ways that build trust with one, you build trust with many. In the industrial age, leadership was a position. In the knowledge age, leadership is a choice. Admission of ignorance is often the first step in our education. When you make a commitment to yourself, do so with the clear understanding that you're pledging your integrity. The more involved you are, the more significant your learning will be. The great apparent dichotomy is that the more we give, the more we get. Your commitment to achieving what matters most will become the foundation for tremendous accomplishments and contributions. You will become the change you seek to make.